And any warmer up there, brother?
No, it's 5
It was 85 today.
in Florida.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can go fuck yourself.
All right. Well, I was waiting for that.
Uh,
That's what I was waiting for. I'm going to the Keys tomorrow. It's even going to be even warmer there. Yeah. Okay. I'll go suck shit and die. But
hey. So, anyways, we got the president of the Down Bikers Association, Rabies.
yeah,
What's
we did
going
it.
on, man?
Well, we did a podcast, and somebody listened and contacted us.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
my secretary heard that you guys were talking on one of your podcasts about not knowing about an organization that helps bikers. So he reached out to y'all, and that's exactly what we do.
well, we were talking about, it'd be kind of cool if like we could get like a poker run or some sort of like, large foundation to like help bikers out to go down or motorcycle, whatever you want to, call yourself. Guys that crash on bikes. And your guy hit me up and was like, yeah, we literally are that entity that does that. So tell us a little bit about it, man. How did it start up?
The Down Bikers Association has been around since September of 1999. There was a group of friends that went out riding around one of the lakes here down in Norman, and an unfortunate accident happened, and three of them lost their lives. So right after that, some of those friends that were riding with them decided to do a benefit poker run for them to help the family with funeral costs and hospital bills and stuff like that for the other ones that were injured. And from that, those friends and group of people that were there, it morphed into the Down Bikers Association. We've been around 24 years now, helping out motorcyclists in Oklahoma that have went down in motorcycle crashes.
So, and you said it's Norman, Oklahoma.
That's where the first wreck was, which is right outside of Oklahoma City.
Okay.
It's part of the Oklahoma City metro area. Yes.
So you guys are based out of Oklahoma or?
Yes. We
Okay.
have 6 chapters total in Oklahoma. We cover all the major cities: Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Enid. Um, we're out Tahlequah area, Veneta, and Western Plains, which is out Elk City area.
And is there any plans to like expand out to like say the rest of the US or?
I would like to. Yes, I would like to help. I'd like to be all in all 50 states if I could, help as many people as we can. Um, we got to do it the right way, though. Obviously.
Well, yeah. Now, the association, do you guys like wear patches or how do you guys present yourselves?
Well, we are part of the COC here in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
so we do have a back patch that we wear. It's a all one piece patch, and it
Sure.
looks like motorcyclists riding into clouds. Um, so we do have that. Then we actually have a front patch too that just has like a guy riding on a motorcycle for that. Um, so we do do a lot of the protocol. We help anybody. But like I said, we are an association, so we're not an MC, but we're a 501c3 charity. Everything's tax donation. Everything that we raise goes to bikers.
Right on. Now, is it is it how do you guys raise money? Like do you guys throw events? Do you guys just look for donations through some sort of crowdfunding? How does it work?
Well, we do quite a bit of things for that. We do a run every single month. We have a recipient every month. Um, all the money we'd raise, whether it's a complete indoor event, which would be you come in, pay a registration fee to be there,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then we do auctions and raffles. We also do have a corporate sponsorship thing that we started. Texas Roadhouse is one of our corporate sponsors
Oh, wow.
here locally. We have like Geico here locally that does it, and then a few of the other local motorcycle shops. We do have some personal injury lawyers that help us out with advertising. And then when we're at the bars, we actually have what we call a pay-to-play contract. So the bars that want us to come in and do our event there, if it's an indoor event, they give us a certain amount of money to be there because obviously they're making money too, and
Sure.
that will also go towards the recipients that we can help out.
And where did this who came up with this idea? Is there like a group of founders, or was it just somebody saw a need and they decided to facilitate it? Or
Well, it goes back to that accident that happened in September of 1999. The friends that were riding with the three that was lost, when they went down, when they did that benefit run, it morphed into this because they realized, well, we can help them. Can we help more people? And it slowly came into the Down Bikers Association, where we started it. So back in the day, a lot of people did a lot of the leg work and got it running, and it has morphed into what it is now.
What's oh, go ahead, Tank.
I was just gonna say you have social media pages and websites and all that stuff you can provide for us. We can throw that information out there for you.
Yeah, we have a website. We actually have a Facebook page, a public one in Oklahoma City, and a private one for members only.
Mhm.
We do have an app also. We have a web developer that we have, so it shows every single event that we do, depending on what chapter you select. And then also, I've started a TikTok account where we show some of our runs and what we do and check presentations and stuff like that. Just trying to get that word out too. So yeah, I can email all that stuff to you if you guys want me to. That'd be no problem.
Oh,
Nice.
absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Now, do you guys go to strip clubs?
We'll go anywhere. I mean, we've done some TNA runs.
That's
so
kind of our thing. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll send you the link when we go to one of those. Or I think we're going to have one in May, so you guys can more than welcome to come up to that one.
Well, they go down. Because
Oh,
I'll be back up in Wisconsin by then.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Florida. Dirty's up there with the 1 degree weather.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. So just out of curiosity, we introduced you as Rabies. Where did that name come from?
Yeah.
Well, funny story. There was a guy that passed away at a house, and he had some Rottweilers in some pens that he never ever let out. They were not friendly at all.
Sure.
So we were helping the family get the dogs out to see if we can get them rehomed or to a whatever shelter or a sanctuary or something like that. One of the guys opened up the cage too early before we were ready, and the dog charged me, jumped in the air. I punched him, the dog, knocked the dog out, and the guy's like, "Does the dog have rabies or do you have rabies?" So that's how it started.
I mean, how did you get involved with the Down Biker Association?
Through some family friends that we had, and my father-in-law. He's the reason why I do it. He passed away in 2017, and he was a big Harley guy. So he's kind of like our down biker. So everything that I do is to kind of honor him.
Okay. Now, is this the first organization you've ever been a part of, as far as like a structured type deal, or is this
Yes.
sort of like a new thing?
This is the only one that I've ever been involved with. Besides maybe like the Boy Scouts growing up, but for motorcycle community, yes.
Now, I was kind of led to believe that you're kind of the head honcho in the Down Bikers Association.
I am the president of the Oklahoma City chapter, which is the mother chapter.
Okay.
So I am in charge of the Oklahoma City chapter, and I do help out all the other chapters that I can. If they call and ask questions, I'll help guide them and all that. But each chapter is its own separate entity. have their own 501c3 set up, but we're all under the same umbrella. Yes.
So what challenges do you find yourself dealing with as the president of the Oklahoma City chapter?
Obviously, I'm always worried about raising enough money to help somebody out. We do this every month, so we have a run every month. So as soon as one ends, we're already working on the next one. The logistics of working it all out, making sure that we have places we can go, speaking to recipients, getting auction and raffle items. And obviously, I have a board that reports to me constantly. I have a lot of members that come to report to me and ask me questions, and then the community, always reaching out. So I think I do more work at the DBA than I actually do my 40-hour job a week.
It's usually how it goes.
Usually, yeah, with any volunteer organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, just out of curiosity, what got you into motorcycling to begin with? Are you like third generation biker type deal? Like your grandfather had one, your dad had one, you have one now, or how did you get involved in motorcycling?
My dad had one when I was younger. I rode a lot of dirt bikes growing up. And I've always been around them, always liked riding them. So I just, morphed into what I do now. It's just getting out and doing the wind therapy. And I've always kind of liked to help people out. So it kind of fell into play how it all worked out. But yeah, I love riding.
What was your first street bike?
It was an old EX 500 Kawasaki Ninja.
Nice.
Back in the day when I was younger. Those sport bike days.
Oh yes.
You look like a bigger guy.
Yeah, I was too skinny, so my wife was afraid I was going to blow away, so she fattened me up pretty good.
Oh, so you rode the Ninja back when you were skinny, not
yeah,
so.
yeah. So when I got bigger, I had to move up to a Harley. Yeah. So.
Yeah. What do you ride now?
Street Glide. So. 2011 Street Glide.
Oh, nice. I come from the sport bike world too. I, started out on a 78 CB 750 Honda. I've had 600 FCRs and 996 Super Hawk Hondas and a handful of Kawasaki's. And
yeah, I was going to say you have Kawasaki KZ 650,
Suzuki's.
Yeah, I've had a Yamaha XS 850 Special. I love that. I wish I never sold that bike.
Yeah, I used to ride dirt bikes. I had a two-stroke Kawasaki 500. That was a beast.
Yeah,
I bet it was a thumper, man. A two-stroke. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law he would fight me riding that one. He wanted to ride that all the time. So.
Well, we kind of want to ride them all, except for Goldwings. I don't want to ride a Goldwing.
Yeah, I don't want to ride a Goldwing.
Fuck Goldwings. And apparently Janus motorcycles, right, Dirty, that they suck. Dirty hates Janus motorcycles, by the way.
I don't necessarily hate Janus motorcycles. I just think they're a hipster bike. I mean,
they're a novelty item. I know.
Yeah. Let's make a one-cylinder motorcycle that does, 55 miles an hour in 2023. Awesome. Good job. But anyways.
I don't know. I mean, I see any new bike to come out. I mean, what was it, about 10 years ago, Kawasaki came out with that, the remake of their 440 Limited, which is Kickstart only. I don't know if you remember that remake of that. And I looked at that one. Wow, I mean, it's going to take me nowhere, but I'd surely like to have that to ride around town. I don't know. I just look at a motorcycle and say, man, I want to own that. Except for Goldwings.
Well, I don't know.
You want to try at least once, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the point of the matter is, I just sometimes I wonder what the industry's thinking. Like, what are we trying to do here with whatever motorcycle they're coming up with? Like what's your market? Like we just did an episode about electric Harley Davidsons, how their new CEO is saying that they're going to be all electric by 2030. I'm like, well, who's your market for that?
Yeah, not me.
Yeah,
Not me.
exactly. And you're talking about 7 years away. I know guys in their 20s that would never buy an electric bike. So I don't know. But more on the point of the Down Bikers Association. Um, so we talked about doing like a coast to coast like poker run, trying to like organize something like that. Now I know that's an abstract idea, and I know that's like a pipe dream of sorts. But just out of curiosity, how would somebody like you, if somebody said we want to start a coast to coast poker run, how would you perceive that happening? Just top of your head.
Through our organization, or
What's
just
that?
open the block? Through
In
our
general.
organization, or
In general, like we're going to do a coast to coast poker run. It's going to take place over a course of a week or two or whatever. How do we do that?
Well, obviously, you'd want to pick the route for sure, and then along the route, you want to make sure that you let people know that you're going through there, permissions and stuff like that. The logistics of running it through, finding stops, obviously places where people can bed down for the night, because you're not going to do it all in one day. Obviously,
No.
like you said, a couple weeks out. So I mean, it'd be a concerted effort. You'd have to get a lot more groups involved, other chapters involved, work it through. I mean, it'd be fun to do for sure.
Be a
It'd be
huge
a
and
lot of work.
coordinated effort.
Yes, definitely coordinated effort. But something like that, I think, would probably bring some of the motorcycle communities together where you didn't know what they're all about, what they're doing. Like a lot of people don't know about the Down Bikers Association, so if you guys ran through Oklahoma, we could help out with that. And when people come back out through, go through, hey, when we stopped in Oklahoma, we saw these guys that are helping other bikers out. So it would definitely be a fun thing to network on that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now you go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, the reason why I asked this is because, when you talk about an idea like this, it would be an idea that would take years of planning, because I don't know of any such run that has ever happened. You know what I mean?
I've
Like
never
you
heard of
got,
one.
yeah, well, I mean, you got things like, what is that thing they do out in Washington, D.C.? Something Thunder.
Oh yeah, there'd be
But yeah, it's like a destination.
Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder. It's more of a destination than it is a ride. And you'll always see guys do rides like up the East Coast or up the West Coast or wherever, but never a coast to coast deal, California to New York type deal, or, Oregon to Washington, D.C.
Be like a cannonball run on motorcycles.
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, not so much cannonball run because we're not racing and we're not trying to beat somebody to get from A to B, but more of like just a concerted effort to make everybody included in the lower 48. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were to try, if you were trying to run it through the middle of the country, I mean, like you said, well, if it comes through Oklahoma, well, what if it came through Missouri? I mean, that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from you.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to get back up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we're talking not doing the whole thing. I mean, it gives people the opportunity to do what portion of it that they choose.
Right.
Yeah.
But obviously somebody would have to lead it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, where you got to come into, well, who's going to lead that ride? Who's going to be at the front? Who's going to be the front runner, Unfortunately, guys like me, I can't take that much time off of work, I mean, that's a hell of a ride.
In the podcast, when we talked about this, you were very surreptitiously suggesting that I would do it.
Well, somebody who's retired that doesn't have a JOB, I mean, that would be ideal.
That is in Florida half the year. Yeah.
Or a guy like, we interviewed a guy like Hoagie. He does multiple iron butts a year.
Yeah.
Older guy, retired, yada, 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 does 1,000-mile rides in 24 hours all the damn time. And,
guy's a firecracker, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just kind of curious, man. We're just looking for ideas, just kind of just spitballing.
Yeah, you can probably even stop at some of the rally grounds where those could be your stops. and that way they could also sleep overnight.
Well, like Adam Sandoval.
Yep,
I don't
he's
know
not
if
that far from here.
Exactly. I mean, there's a guy that he hit every single dealership in X amount of time, or hit a dealership in every 50 state, and I don't know whatever amount of time it was.
Well, he was the first one to ever do all of them, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
he's going to do it again on a time limit.
Yeah.
I think
So,
his next one. Yep.
so I mean, there's guys out there that just their whole life is nothing but pounding miles. So
Oh, last summer, Blair Dell, man, last summer.
that's true. Yeah, we had a guy, Blair Dell. He does what do you want to call it? Like motorcycle
It just basically, it's not first aid training, but it's like before the first responder type training for motorcycle accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a medic, a couple of tours over in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Well, he did quite a few. He was a Navy. Well, I want to say he was a Navy corpsman who was assigned to Special Forces
Mm-hmm.
to be basically their medic. And now he basically focuses on getting bikers prepared to do, I don't know, I guess triage would be one way to put it. If, God forbid, they find themselves around somebody who's went down on a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's the training that, like, he trains people on what to do before, like I said, before the first responders get there. So
Like basic first aid.
now I wouldn't call it basic first aid. I mean, we dealt with like what to do with massive blood loss coming out. I mean, where to put the tourniquets. I mean, how to pack a wound with the gel stuff, the gel packing and
space blankets, things like that.
Yeah, shock. I mean, all this stuff, like the stuff that has to be done within the first 5 minutes on a scene.
Okay.
Generally, the first responders will get there, 20, 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And, he was teaching you how to, hold the vein between your fingers to pinch it off until, you can get the first responder. But yeah, he's a friend of the show. He's been on a couple of times, but last summer, he lives in upstate. He lives in Washington State, and he got on his motorcycle and rode Washington State all the way out to Washington, D.C., and then he went south and then went back across over towards like San Diego and then up the coast. So he did basically the four corners of the continental United States.
That's a lot of miles.
I bet Blair would be down with something like this.
I would love to speak with them like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely would be.
Our people some stuff,
He's such a humble guy, man, but he's a pretty amazing dude.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, something like that. I mean, you guys would be able to maybe, if we get beyond the idea, the talking stage, to maybe help coordinate something like this with us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely down. If you come in here, we'll help you out as much as we can. So yeah, I'm down for that.
Right on.
So
now I guess on more of a personal level, what is probably one of the cases that you guys have worked out of a down biker where if it wasn't for you, then this guy would have been up shit creek without a paddle?
Well, I've been around since 14, so we could probably talk for days about some of the stuff that, we've done and help people out. But one that comes to mind was just recently in November, we have what we call our Winter Sucks Party, which is a complete indoor event.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a black shirt event, which means that the recipient had passed away. So we give the money to the next of kin, which would be the mother in this case. And at the time, we didn't know that she was struggling. We were just trying to help her out and see if there's anything on his estate that she could be paid off. And at the end of the event, when we gave her a check for over $6,000, she broke down, obviously, because it was an emotional time. But she was on the verge of homelessness. And the money that we just gave her, she was able to put a down payment down on a house.
Nice.
So that was a pretty touching thing here recently that's happened.
Now you say a black shirt event. Is there like different types of events that you guys hold? Like if a black shirt event is somebody died on their motorcycle, is there another type of event you guys do?
No, that's the only one we have is what we call black shirt event, just so our people know that it's the recipient that we're running for has passed away. So it's when we show up in black shirts, it's more of like a mourning thing for respect for the family that's there.
Sure.
So that's why we call it that.
Okay.
Nice.
But we do have other words for other like events. Like in January we have what's called a Pimps and Hoes event, and we just had that a couple weeks ago. Dress up as your best pimp, best hoe. We have a contest for that. We give out trophies. We do a dance-off competition. We do a Mardi Gras. We do St. Patrick's Day, stuff like that.
Okay.
Spook around Halloween.
So it's not quite a church group. You guys kind of abide by the whole let's have fun and catch a buzz type biker stuff.
Yeah, we do anything. I mean, we'll like I said earlier when we were talking about doing a run out and having y'all down here for it. We have some people that go into churches, you know.
Mhm.
But most of our runs are through bars. You know, we'll go in there and have a few drinks with some people, and we have a bike night every Friday night that we go to, and so yeah, we definitely get together. We like to have fun. We like to party. So it definitely brings us people together, loosens them up, because you know sometimes the stigma of the bikers is, you know, a negative one that we have to overcome at times.
Well,
So
sure.
if we let them know that, hey, we're here to help you raise money, and these families that we do help out never been around bikers, maybe it'll help, you know, further down the road when they see another biker at a light.
No, right on, man. I mean, I guess I'm more prone to go into the bar and, you know, whatever type charity events versus say, you know, a juice bar type,
Yeah.
Christian club type. It's at a church. I'm not going to that.
Yeah, less the church social, more hookers and blow for us, you know.
It is what it is, man.
Well,
Well-
we do a lot of the runs through the bars, but we also try to counteract the partaking of beer. So what we'll do is at some of these bars, at the end stops, we'll cater in food, so
Oh,
people
yeah.
have to eat. We've started at, you know, some restaurants before, or the third stop's a restaurant, stuff like that. But the majority of our runs that we do go through are established bars that do support the Down Bikers Association in our area. If they're going to help us, we'll come through. You know, you come in with 100 and something bikes, that makes their day pretty good for them, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, our biggest, I guess, charitable event that we do is called the Strip Poker Run. And it's basically where we are in Wisconsin, there happens to be quite a bit of strip clubs for whatever reason. So, like a normal poker run where it goes to like bar to bar, we go to strip club to strip club. And we
Yeah.
always have a meal kind of towards the end because we know by the time we get to that meal, guys really need to eat something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, no, I
That's
get,
what
I mean,
we try to do. We definitely try to get some food in them,
Oh, yeah.
because even though we're the Down Bikers Association, doesn't mean I want to run for you. I'd rather not.
mhm.
So I try to take care of everybody that's running with us that day. I kind of feel responsible for them when they're out. So I always want to go in together, come back together.
Well, I mean, that's well, that's kind of the goal is to make sure everybody's safe and everybody's taken care of.
Yes.
You know, especially if you're trying to raise money for a down biker, because that's the reality of what could go wrong if you don't do those things.
Yes. So yeah, we definitely try to do that. We even have a trailer that follows us as a chase vehicle. And if anybody breaks down, we load up the trailer. If anybody gets too gone, we'll load up their trailer. We'll take their keys and get them home. We'd rather see you the next day. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've intervened before. Last year we intervened.
Yeah, we've hurt some people's feelings before.
Oh well, you know, not going down on our run. If anybody's
Nope.
going down on our run, it's going to be one of us, right, brother?
That's right.
It happened on the strip poker run 3 years ago.
Whoops.
yeah, we had a TNA run last year. It was a fun run. A group of us got together, and then half the pot went to the winner, and then the other half we used for the recipient to buy raffle auction items. So we have done those, and my VP is already planning the next one. So.
Oh, right on.
Nice, man. I mean, you're doing a dozen events a year. I mean, we have a hard enough time coordinating, a third of that, on a yearly basis. I can't imagine what it would be like, especially with 6 different clubs too, or associations rather.
Yeah, well, yeah, we stay pretty busy. We actually are pretty involved in the community too. We also do a pool and dart tournament every month for our recipients. We actually do two events a month that goes to one recipient. So when we do the pool and dart tournament, you register to play there. You win a trophy. We take that money. We buy like a big raffle item that people like an outdoor heater, toolboxes, stuff like that. And then whatever money's left over at the actual event that we have, we just put that as what we call walking cash for them to take back. So, like I said, we don't keep a penny of anything that we raise.
Now, let's say a biker goes down, he gets hurt, he's in a bad way financially. How does he get support from you guys? Do they contact you? Do you take referrals? How does it work?
Well, we have a couple different ways. We have a run request form that we fill out. We have you fill it out and then gives us the police report. Because the only thing that we will not do a run for is if you're in the commission of a felony at the time, because we are a 501c3. We have to have a few rules to follow. And then you have to be in the hospital for 48 hours on there. So, but we have a hospital committee where if someone calls us and says, hey, a motorcycle went down, we find out who it is. Our hospital committee goes to the hospital, visits with the family, see if they need anything while they're there. And then when they do the run request, we just approve it and schedule the date. And then right before then we call them up and say, hey, your February's, so this is where we're going to be at and be there. And if you need anything. And then, there's other ways too. They can reach out to me if I know them, but we always do at least do the run requests. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys do any work with ABAID or any other organizations? We
do. We are big with ABAID of Oklahoma, the Heartland chapter, mainly here in Oklahoma City. We do a lot with them. We'll go down and do the legislative days to help with anti-profiling laws. We do what's called a court watch thing. So if people cause an accident with a motorcyclist and the DA decides that they're only going to charge them for driving without a driver's license, but the guy passed away, we'll put pressure on the DEA to amend the charges, which we just did back in December. A Air Force veteran was killed on a motorcycle, and they just charged the guy without a driver's license. So we started a petition and got signatures, went up there, got it on the news, and talking to get the DA to amend it for at least minimum of manslaughter. So
this is where I be quiet because Tank's got a whole lot to say about this.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of that, you're right. I do have a lot to say in terms of biker rights. I'm a lifetime member of ABAID of Wisconsin, and so we do a lot of similar things with biker rights, like lobbying our legislature once a year up at the State House in Wisconsin, and it takes time to get stuff done, but when you do put public pressure on our civic authorities, a lot of times it doesn't take much to get them to do things, to change, because we think that the voice of 2 or 3 isn't a lot, but to them it's like their whole constituency is talking.
Exactly.
So that's very commendable. Now, you said you guys are part of the COC as well.
Here in Oklahoma, we are. Yeah.
So you guys go to hang out with traditional motorcycle clubs and.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
So we'll go to the COC meetings that they have. We're a completely independent organization. We'll help out anybody. But obviously doing what we've done for 24 years, we run into a lot of people get to know them, you know, consider them friends, you know. Hopefully we never have to help them out, but, you know, we'll go to their clubhouses for their open house. If they have a run or something like children's runs, some of the, you know, MCs do a lot of the toy runs and stuff like that. We'll go and participate and stuff like that. Yeah, we try to help out as much as we can for whoever we can, you know. Like back to the A-bait thing, in March, we go to the legislative day. We try to pack the state capitol, and obviously with Oklahoma City being where it's at, we are in the capital. So I'm only like 2 miles from the capital. So they'll see my ugly mug, you know. And
It's always a
usually just
lot of
tell
fun,
me
isn't it?
it is.
All the
It's a
bikers show up
blast.
with all the biker gear, scaring the hell out of everybody, and then
Well, they usually turn the metal detectors on when we get there for sure.
Wisconsin doesn't for some reason. They don't, you know.
You would think Oklahoma wouldn't, but yeah, they get a little scared sometimes. But you know, we're there for a reason. So
Definitely. Yeah, it's nice. That's cool, man. It sounds like you guys got a good gig going on there.
yeah, it's enjoyable. I've been around it since 2014. I don't plan on going anywhere. This is my second year as the Oklahoma City chapter president. I enjoy it. I like helping people, you know, and it's just a way to give back to the community that, you know, I enjoy hanging around, you know.
Now, what's your riding season there in Oklahoma City like?
Um,
I mean, you guys
you,
get ice
we don't
storms
ride
and
all
shit.
around. Yeah, well, we not too often. I mean, right now it's 20 degrees outside, and it's been sleeting for the last couple of days. But I just rode Friday and Saturday, so
Yeah, me
you can
too. Weird.
right all along. Yeah, it wasn't as probably as nice as it was where you're at, but yeah, we can ride pretty much all year long. There's always pockets that we can't. I definitely, it's nothing like Wisconsin for sure.
How's your road system? How's your roadways?
Oh, they suck.
Oh, I bet they don't suck as much as Wisconsin. What do you think,
Probably
brother?
not as much as Wisconsin. But I mean, we have a lot of nice scenic areas, especially down by Tallahena.
Well, I was going to
It's
say the
really
one
nice.
you and I talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, Tallahena is really nice. But you know, Oklahoma City is smack dab in the middle of Oklahoma, so I'm 2 hours from every border pretty much. So there's a lot of back roads you can ride. There's not a whole lot of twisties, but if you want to do that, you just start heading over towards Arkansas.
I was going to say, yeah, get to the foot of the Ozarks, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but Oklahoma City is a pretty cosmopolitan city. People don't realize it. They don't realize all the canals, the whole canal system you have working through that area. It's like Amsterdam-ish, you know.
We have what's called Bricktown.
Mhm.
They do have a canal system through there. Took out some of the roads when they revitalized that area. I try to stay away from Bricktown because they kind of like to ride those one-cylinder motorcycles we talked about earlier. You know, but I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we have the crossroads of I-35 and I-40 come right through here. So with, like I said, within an hour or two, you can pretty much get anywhere you want to in Oklahoma. So
One thing I remember about Oklahoma is that armadillos all over the place, man.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, they really are a scourge of the road. You ever hit one on your bike?
No, but I hit a bobcat about 80 miles an hour coming back from it was, I don't know if you ever heard of Rocklahoma.
No.
Rocklahoma is a big 3-day concert, rock and roll concert up that I go to every year. It's up in Pryor, Oklahoma. You should check it out if you're a big rock and roll guy. I was coming back from that with my father-in-law and another friend, and he clipped a bobcat on his highway bars, and it flew up in the air and landed, and I T-boned it right in my front tire. And let's just say my buddy behind me, when we pulled over, he was wiping stuff off from both ends from that bobcat. So, but I've never hit an armadillo, but the bobcat, yeah.
Hit a bobcat. Well, that's a first for me hearing about that.
Right in the belly button. I just ran over it and shot blood out one side and poop out the other. And we pulled over, and my father-in-law was like, well, that was kind of a really weird experience. I said, yeah, I know. It's nothing like hitting a T-bone. And then my buddy started going like, yeah, you guys have no idea, when he was wiping off his face. So it was it turned into a funny event, obviously. So
I have hit so much wildlife on my bike, I don't even want to talk about it. I just recently I hit a crow.
oh,
Yeah. There was a crow in the middle of the road eating roadkill, essentially. I don't know what he was eating, but it was some sort of larger mammal. And I saw it in the middle of the road, and I'm going down the highway, and I'm thinking to myself, please don't fly into me when I start going past you. And sure as shit is, I don't know, I might have gotten 20 yards away from him. He decided to take flight. And at 75 miles an hour, he went directly into my path and hit my handlebars and exploded all over me. And there was a crow literally like accordioned over one side of my handlebars that I had to take and grab and throw off the side to my bike. And there was a picture of me covered in blood and guts of a crow.
oh wow.
Yeah, so that was fun. Just out of curiosity, so you guys have multiple chapters and they all run independently, correct?
Yes.
So when it comes to say you're doing a ride or an event for a particular person that got into an accident, is it just one chapter or is it all the chapters coming together for one individual?
We will do both, to be honest with you.
Okay.
We have each chapter has their own mascot. We have a bulldog here in Oklahoma City.
Mhm.
Yeah, we call him Tank, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we have a rivalry between the chapters. So if I take a certain amount of people up to one run and register at their run, I get to take their mascot.
Oh,
I get to bring it home. For them to come back and get it, they have to have the same amount of people plus one to come down and get it. So that it shows other chapters try to do it. But with 6 chapters, 4 weekends a month, we can't hit all of them.
sure.
But we do try to support them as much as possible. Try to schedule the bigger ones. Now, some of the smaller chapters that we have, like up in Veneta, which is up by Joplin almost, and then we have one out in Western Plains. They don't do a whole lot of runs because they're not as populated as we are.
Sure.
So they'll come out, or we'll go there when we're not doing stuff. But we'll pick and choose and try to support them out. Or what we'll do is, I know Oklahoma City's done this, and some of the other chapters. I'll just call the other president and of that chapter and say, hey, Oklahoma City chapter wants to donate this amount of money for your recipient.
Right on.
So that's how we try to do it.
Well, I mean, little healthy competition never hurt anybody.
Mm.
It doesn't. No.
Creates a little camaraderie too. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It sounds like you guys got a good deal going there, man, and it's very altruistic what you're doing there and helping out the community in your area and taking care of the down bikers. It sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun doing it too.
Yep.
Make sure you get your information to us. We can have it scroll across the bottom, and we'll direct them to your sites.
Sure.
So maybe you get a little extra traffic in there from Oklahoma to help you out, and who knows, maybe you get some of the guys from Arkansas or Missouri or Kansas or something interested in.
Yeah. If anybody wants to do that, we're down to hoping get it out, and we'll help set up the new chapters. Obviously, show them the right way to do it, and go into the area where we need to and get the permissions and the stuff like that we need to do. But obviously, we won't just say, hey, just go figure it out. But we'll definitely help them out and push them in the right direction.
Nice.
So just out of I've got a couple more questions. So when you talk about the right permissions and the right protocols, basically what we're talking about here.
Mhm.
Where does that knowledge come from?
Asking a lot of questions, getting out, getting about, going places, introducing myself the right way to people. That helps out. I've had some people that have came before me,
Mhm.
that have helped me, and I still call at times that they'll point me in the right directions. But it's all about getting out and asking people and talking to people and showing respect. And if you see somebody there, go up and introduce yourself the right way. Just get to know people.
Now, have you had a lot of resistance against what you guys are trying to do, or has people been kind of welcoming?
Since I've been around, really welcoming.
Sure.
We've been around, like I said, in Oklahoma for 24 years. So a lot of the stuff that was already put in place was way before what I had to do. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of the hard work that they had to do. And but all the organizations around here, they know who we are. They know what we're about. And we try to respect the right ways to do stuff. And if there's something that comes up, we try to obviously talk to people and get it resolved.
Well, and I bring it up because I think part of our 8 listeners that might want to try to start something in their own area, I want them to, kind of know that it's a possibility in your area too. I mean, you're not stepping on anybody's toes trying to raise money for guys that go down on bikes.
No. And we'll raise it for anybody that rides.
Yeah.
We don't, we keep that. If you've met the criteria, you ride, we'll run for you.
Even gold wingers, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we'll ride for them. So, but yeah, it doesn't matter if you're part of a certain organization or not part of an organization, or if you just the first time you've ever ridden. It doesn't matter if you're on 2 wheels or you're riding on a motorcycle. We'll help you out if we can, for sure.
Right on, man.
All right, I got one more question for you. What is the number one accident causing thing for bikers? Do you see a pattern? Like this guy went down because of X and a lot of other guys go down because of X?
Well, we follow the statistics here in Oklahoma for sure. A lot of it's people not staying off their cell phones, texting and driving. And they always say, we didn't see you, then that's because you guys aren't paying attention. You're more worried about your Instagram or your Facebook likes than you are about someone riding around on a motorcycle,
Well, I mean, a lot of the people too, when they say statistically that the majority of the motorcycle people that go down, it happens usually within the first 90 days of them getting their license, them getting on the bike,
Mm-hmm.
They just hadn't had a chance to build up that muscle memory. Dirty and I were talking yesterday about that. Just, we were laughing about one time when Dirty had the old lady on the back of the bike and we're heading down the road, the group, and hitting some gravel, and you just kind of ride right through it and, kick the tail of your hip a little and bring the bike back around again. And it just happens instinctually because you build up that muscle memory over time, but your beginning rider doesn't have that yet.
Yeah. We actually have with ours, we every meeting, we do some kind of motorcycle safety course. No, not a course, but we go over some of that stuff for our new people that join. And we tell them to work on stuff. Go out there in a parking lot, work on your slow turns, or go try to learn something else. My executive vice president, he used to be a motorcycle safety course instructor. So that helps out. But yeah, it's just, you got to get out and ride and you just got to do it. You just can't call yourself a biker and have your, bike in the garage 11 months out of the year.
Oh, I mean, the only way to be a better biker is to ride your motorcycle more.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't change that fact. Nope.
How do you get the car into the hall?
Yep.
That's
Practice.
right. One last question.
Sure.
Why is it so windy in Oklahoma?
I don't know, but if I figure it out, I'm gonna stop it because it's always cold. Like today, it's 20 degrees and seems like 300-mile-an-hour winds.
Because it's so fucking flat.
I heard it's windy in Oklahoma because Texas sucks, but I don't know. Maybe that's just what I've heard.
that might be the part. But I think they have a tornado magnet they turn on every once in a while, and they're warming it up right now.
Fucking
So-
A. Well, I got nothing else for you.
Rabies.
Well, rabies. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, I don't know. He had said earlier, well, there's a funny story about rabies, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say
There's a funny story about rabies.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
So
you've
we had
heard one. I hope.
Now we heard, and we got a first of many here in the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast,
Well, good.
and we've had some firsts for sure. That's for damn sure. Well, Shawn,
Yeah.
go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, have your dude send us all the links, man. We'll put it all in the description. If people want to check it out, they can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you hear anybody that might want to be involved in something we do, give them my information too. We'll definitely
Right on.
Right
try to
on,
help
man.
out as much as we can.
Well, yeah, we'll stay in touch with you too. It's kind of weird. The people that come onto the show kind of just become part of the Bikers Lifestyle group. We got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
A bunch of them now. So I guess you're part of the fold now, whatever the fuck this is. We haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it.
Well,
Right on.
right on. Well, thanks a lot for coming in, man. Hopefully we can get you back on here again. We'll get your information out. We'll try to help you out as much as we can, and maybe we can get something going for this this coast to coast run we're talking about. We're just shooting the shit about it now, but I think it's a good idea to be something unprecedented.
Yeah. We'll be more than happy to help you.
Right on. Well, thanks for listening. The 7 or 8 viewers that are made it to this point in time, and remember, everybody, the most dangerous part of your motorcycle is nothing connects the seat to the handlebars. Peace.
Oh yeah.